Hey guys, well we're just out at the food plots kind of doing an update check. It's been super dry here, pretty rough for the whole crop situation. But I can see that something's been in here picking on the brassica side. There definitely is not going to be any turnips or bulbs this year in here. But that's alright. Normally I would plant this mix on the other side and the clover over here, but the clover was doing really well over there, so I didn't want to mess things up. Bird in the hand's worth two in the bush, as they say. But this is pretty thin. They have been nipping on it and chewing, so that's always good. But it's pretty rough. But as long as they'll slow down in here for me to get a shot on their way to the other food plot, I'm pretty happy. So it's kind of just a slow down food plot, not so much a sit and eat food plot. So let's just have a little look. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you can probably see what I'm talking about. It's pretty thin, pretty scraggly, but they have been in eating it. It didn't grow all that great. You can see there's not a lot of big leaves. You need leaves about the size of a foot. But it's alright. They're still going to come through here and eat. Excuse me. So, you know, it wasn't a complete waste. And anytime you can get down a green manure, it's really going to help. Well, you can see that side's looking pretty rough, but they're going to hit it up. They're eating it now. It's just not the prettiest of food plots. It doesn't get a lot of sun. It's thick bush in here. We got a ton of big red and white pines there, and they just suck up all the sun. So like I said, it's expected. That's kind of why I prefer to put clover in over there, because even if my first year's a little bit slow, my next year and the year after, they do better. It does get sun, but it just doesn't get a ripping all day sun. So here's the clover plot. It's not awesome, but it's better than the other side. I'm glad I didn't weed kill the alfalfa, because the deer ate that when everything else was struggling. So I'm really glad. Next year I think I'll destroy this one, wreck it, rip it all up. I'm gonna try maybe planting some soybeans if I don't get my land cleared here, and I can use my electric fence. I'm gonna come through and I'm gonna whipper snip all the brush back, and I'll put two rows of electric fence about 3 feet apart, help keep the deer out, and plant it with beans, soybeans, and get the other side done with clover. So let's just jump down and have a little look. So here you can see the clover's not too bad, and you can see there's lots of stems that are nipped up. When you're standing up on the rock behind me, that's the food plot looks a lot worse than it is. Pretty much the stems that are nipped off, or nipped off really low, that's what kind of died, and you notice it a lot when you're up top on that rock. It looks like everything's kind of dying, but it's still pretty green for the most part. So I'm pretty happy. I've got a trail cam right over here. Not sure if you can see that. I'm sure it's got a bunch of pictures, so that's really good. I'll check that when I get back. We'll go, you can see that there's been something in that alfalfa right in there, which is good. I'm glad I didn't, like I said, I didn't mow it or whipper snip it. I can see that there's game trails through here, so they're definitely in here eating. Let's just So here's a comparison between the outside food plot and the utilization cage. You can see that the green part is still 3 or 4 inches taller than the outside, and the parts that have died off probably from the drought are you know, you're looking at least a foot taller than the outside. So utilization cages pay off. I mean, you can see pretty much everywhere that it's been nipped and stuff, so it's not hard to tell. Well, that's a little look at the food plot. They're not the clover plot's not as bad as I thought, to be honest. Now that I'm actually out walking in it, it's doing all right. I'm sure the trail camera is going to have a couple hundred pictures of deer, as well as that bear, because he's been in here ripping up these stumps looking for whatever it is he's looking for. Next year I'll redo it, like I said, but this year it's great green manure. You can see underneath, there's underneath the clover there's lots of growth and decaying material, so that's a real win-win as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, this plot's looking really well. I think I've got a tree stand in the back that I should maybe consider pulling out of here. There's a tree right there that's kind of in the nice thicket. I think because they come down through here, it'd probably be about a 15-yard shot. But we do have the other stand over there, so usually as the season gets tougher, I dump some corn and apples on that side. Well, the food plots are looking a lot better than I expected. It's mid to end of August now. It's been brutally hot. We've had fire bans just about all summer long now. Last year we had 26 or 27 days of rain in June, and I doubt we've had 2 weeks this whole summer of rain. So we definitely need some rain. It's really gloomy today. They're calling for something around 40 to 60 millimeters, so 1 inch to 2 inches of rain. Hopefully it's just a slow, steady rain, because the ground's so dry. I'm not sure it's going to absorb it. I think it's just going to run off. But the food plots could sure use some more rain. But considering how they are, I'm actually quite surprised that they're doing as well as they have done. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with the food plots. Thanks for coming along with me. Cheers, guys, and good luck. Anyone that's hunting this year, whether it be big game or small game or waterfowl. And we'll see you on the next video.